Okay, so here is another tree we picked up. This one is a ficus, and to the front, we're looking at is roughly right here. And then we're gonna spin and take a look all the way to the back. Okay, and then back to the front. Okay, so with this one, we are going to kind of get it cleaned up, work on rebuilding the structure, the skeleton for this, and then giving it some time for it to grow. So right now we're gonna go in and clean it up and just cut everything down. So once again, this is someone who's taken lessons from my dad before, so that's why you can see the nylon string that's being used. This one is done correctly, where it had one central anchor for what he was tying down. And then so right now he's just kind of going through and cleaning it up. Same with the back, getting that cut off right now so we can take a look at everything. Once again, this one was also done correctly, one central anchor point for all the tie down. There's also a wire in there as well on one of those branches. So we're going to go ahead and remove the wire. Remove the wire. 你頭先用嗰把剪剪，佢唔會整壞到？
剪得多咪壞咯，第一刀剪啊，你知道唔啱，都冇辦法。
So you used the wrong tool to cut the wire earlier. That was a oopsie. The gentleman we picked this up from, he has a lot of ficus. He actually really likes the ficus. He does grafting a lot, so a lot of the trees that he has, especially the ficuses, he graft a lot of them, using different species. So some of them he likes the base, the trunk, and then he'll use another variety of ficus that maybe has better shaping leaves or looks better as the top. 呢個佢係簽出嚟㗎嘛，係咪？
係。
你而家係剪緊多餘嗰啲出嚟？
多出嚟嗰啲冇用嗰啲剪。
So right now he's kind of going through and cleaning up the insides too, the inside branches, and just getting rid of all the little branches within that is not going to be needed. We had to improvise today with our little setup. Usually we have a different, little platform that you like to use to do this, but today we have like a little spinner on top of larger nursery pots. So we're working off of that because the usual ones that he has is occupied by some of the other bigger trees that he's going to be working on, later on. So you can see that one in the background that's outgrown, so he's going to be trying to work on that when he has some free time, and then this one as well. So those are the usual platforms that he uses when he's working on trees. but they're in use.你中唔中意呢種樹㗎？
呢樹好靚嘅樹種，
啲 ficus 你係中意？
呢個樹靚嘅，啲葉靚啊。
Asked him if he likes working with ficus, and he says he does, and he likes this one, this species in particular. The leaves are very pretty. 呢種樹係咪好容易打理嘅咧？
容易啊，
係。
最緊要唔好俾生蟲。
He likes working with ficuses because they're easy to maintain. The most important thing, he said, is to not let it get infested with pests. 咁所以係咪要最好成日要接住佢？
Yeah， 要清，睇住有冇蟲咧。
So always, it's good to kind of keep an eye on it always to make sure that it's not, you don't see any signs of pest infestation, and start treating it right away too if you see it. 咁你平時係咪都係一個月噴佢一次嗰啲，等佢冇？
正常係咁啦，除非你唔得閒冇辦法啦啲意思。
即係冇蟲都要擠佢。
Yeah.
So what he normally would do too is that once a month he'll go through and spray all of his trees with some sort of like a pest spray, like as part of maintenance.
我先清晒都冇用嗰啲，嗱個佢。
So he just kind of went through and cleaned up everything that's on the inside, closer to the trunk of the tree, getting rid of everything that is not needed. So once he has that all cleared up and cleaned up, now he's going to work on
呢個一樣要揾隻攝。
呢個。So this one he also feels like it needs to be propped up and change the angle.
Check out.
呢啲係咪佢㗎？
係，俾你平啦以前。
即係呢啲全部都係佢㗎，係咪？
全部佢啊！
所以佢先至咁好睇，因為佢係
佢嗰啲葉唔同啊嘛。
Yeah. This would be the angle that he's going to replant this later on, and this being the front. So now we're going to go in and get it all cleaned up and set that structure. Okay, 而家去剪佢，剪返個形出嚟。Everything on this is very long, so he is going to go in and cut everything down, cut everything back in. 你剪嗰時咧，有冇好似
睇佢啲牙
呀？
有，我一睇就知道大約點。
呢個你係咪又剪晒啲葉出嚟啊？
呀，
全部等佢再爆翻出嚟。
等佢再爆。
Same with this one, as he's going in and getting this cleaned up, he's also removing the leaves as well, and kind of waiting. By doing that, it's gonna force it to push out new leaves and new growth. So that's usually, he's hoping for certain growth on the branches. By cutting the leaves off, it's gonna push everything out. So hopefully it would generate some buds in areas where he wants new branches. The 人係咪驚剪嗰啲葉啊？
啲人驚。
佢係會唔會？
佢唔好似我哋種慣嗰啲知啦。即係我哋種得多，我哋唔知道啊嘛。一講剪葉，佢啲人就驚。
He says a lot of people practicing that's new to bonsai and punching is scared to cut off the leaves a lot of the times, but sometimes it's very beneficial to do that because, like I said, it helps to push for new growth. 有冇樹係唔會長啲葉嘅咧？如果你驚剪到佢，
松樹啦，
松樹即係唔可以剪到佢。
啲派啦，冇葉佢又唔得噶啦。
即係唔可以剪到條棍咁。
Yeah， 松葉一剪就得翻條棍就跌噶啦。
I asked him if there's any trees that he knows for sure of that if you cut off all the leaves, that because most people are scared to cut off leaves. So if you cut off everything, what does he know of that won't grow back? And he says pine trees. So if you get rid of all the pines and you're only leaving the branches, as a stick and there's no pine needles on it, then that will die for sure. 不過平時啲樹係冇問題。
要活水應該冇問題，會長翻出嚟。
啲乜嘢？
呢啲木質樹啦，我哋嘅。
係落葉嗰啲係咪啊？
係啦。唔落葉都一樣會長。
Okay. So unlike the pine, this tree, I guess he calls it more like a woody type of tree. The leaves will grow back, and your deciduous trees also, those will not have any issues. Like your elms and things, the type that the leaves falls off. 你有粒果嗰度嗰個唔使剪啊？
我要剪，全部剪。呢個我要留翻係粗啲，
先至剪。
係啦，呢個太 skin 嚟嘅。
OK， 不過其他嗰啲可以剪，呢一條就唔剪得。
我有啲可能用鐵線tie嘅咧 balance 啲快啲。
So I asked him why he didn't cut that one branch that still has like a little berry on it, when he's cutting everything else back. And his response was that one branch is not thick enough yet. So he may wire that one and let it grow a little bit more to thicken up before he goes back in to cut it. So there was a reason for why he didn't cut it. 因為我問係你平時咧係響下剪上去噶嘛，咁嗰一條零零丁丁響度，跟住所以我先問你點解冇剪。佢唔夠粗啊嘛。And then, so usually going off is his usual method, he works from the bottom up. So he cuts everything all the way on the bottom and then going all the way up. And I saw that he was trying to play around with trying to find the apex of it. But then that one branch kind of stuck out. And that's why I asked him why he didn't cut that one. And it's because it's not thick enough yet. 不過其他嗰啲都可以。
Yeah.
But based on the ratio of everything else, the sizes of the branches, those were okay. So that's why he was able to kind of go in there and cut off what he did. 呢啲係唔係同埋嗰啲嗰啲榆樹係嘛？唔同啲榆樹可以掹葉，呢啲唔掹得係嘛？
驚佢脫嗰個牙崩咗。
So I asked him a lot of times
即
for
係
Chinese.
驚呢度嘅嗰個，即係你一掹佢咧，驚佢呢度嘅嗰個撩嗰個牙斷咗。
So I was asking him because a lot of the Chinese elms that we work on, we go in and we kind of pluck it when we're trying to defoliate it or partially defoliate. And I asked why we don't do that for the ficus that he's working on right now. And so what he's doing is he's going in, he's cutting the leaves off, as you can see, but he's also leaving just like a little like stub on the leaves. Yeah, like little stubs on it, you know, where the leaves are. So I wanted to make sure that I clarify that for everybody, why, you know, he doesn't go in and pluck it like the Chinese elms, and then on this one he's cutting it. And it's because he doesn't want to, he wants to make sure that when the new growth will come back in for sure. And if we go in to pluck it, we don't, you know, like this one right here. So we don't want to, if you're going in and you're plucking it, you don't want to damage, you know, the area where the new growth is going to come back. Because sometimes if you pull on it too hard, you know, it might not, you know, generate new growth. So that's why he's cutting it. So then when the new growth does push out, then that little nub will just dry off and fall off instead of, you know, not having the nub there. So that is why he's cutting the way he is and not plucking. 嗰啲榆樹係咪係可以，因為佢係粗啲咁，所以就容易即係生翻出嚟。
同埋咧，如果你要啲嗰啲榆樹啲枝老啲咁多啲病樹咧，唔係撩嗰啲咧，就冇問題啦。
So then going back to the Chinese elms too, of why he kind of like pulls on the leaves too, he says some of the older branches, not the new ones, but some of the older branches, there's really no issues with it regenerating the new growth from plucking.
我輕輕帶一帶啲枝咧，先快脆啲啦。
呢個唔綁繩，因為想佢快啲。
Yeah.
Right now we're still working on the skeleton, and we want to really kind of shape the skeleton of it. So we're not exactly at that tie down stage, you know, where we're just tweaking the branches. We're really setting the skeleton right now. So the best way is to use wires. 頭先你啪一聲斷都冇問題。
少少唔怕。
嚇？
少少唔怕。掂得啫。No problem.
Not sure if you heard that, but he was twisting it earlier and it popped. I don't know if the sound picked up or not, but it did pop. He's not too concerned about it. 呢啲唔驚啊！即係頭先咁樣卜一聲唔聽，冇問題。
佢唔斷冇問題。
He says if it didn't break off, it's fine. 頭先響邊度卜一聲啊？嚇，下邊有冇爆到望落去？
少少爆唔怕。
He said it just cracked a little bit. 你拉翻佢上去係嘛？拉翻高佢。
我拉翻均勻啫。
拉翻都好似平平地。
係啊，即係要拉到佢隻 balance 啲唔得。 即係咁。即係點解咧？你用繩拉咧，佢變到個有陣時個角度拉得，佢已經係有嗰個樹個樣啦嘛。如果你用鐵線拉咧，要
拉好耐，
咪用繩拉冇咁靚啊個位。
因為你個位未攞好。
no， 你係好似嗰啲榆樹咁咧，我係一節一節咁長出嚟咧，拉就容易啊嘛。佢而家本身已經有個 body 啊嘛，所以如果你再拉就好難。
不過整好之後就拉。
係啦。
So the difference between this
呢個係
one,
old bench 啊嘛。
yeah, this and some of the other ones that he's working on too is that, you know, this obviously this is not a tree that he has that he's been working on. We just picked this up, and so
你
this
唔用新整嗰啲 bench，我可以點樣拉就得。依家 old 嗰啲 bench 咧，你最好用 wire 掂得，即係快啲啦。
yeah. So this is a tree that we had just picked up. The tree itself is already have some age to it. It's already kind of established. So the quickest way to set the form of it and, you know, reshape it and make changes to it is to wire it.
你唔同一棵樹咁生長出嚟，就用繩拉好啲。但係如果呢啲樹已經有咁上下耐咧，你如果拉好難拉得到佢個你想要嘅角度。大家我歪就搞掂啦，係咪？
Yeah, so
仲喺呢度。嗱，我歪好晒，你就睇到。嗱，同埋呢支咧，呢支一定要高彎啲。
So that was a one branch earlier that we didn't cut down, and then so that one he's trying to wire it so that it would grow a little bit more upwards, because right now it's like pulled down.
呢支要向翻呢邊，
向後
向翻前邊。
前面. And then
佢話因逼到啊嘛。
the one that he's
呢支
working
向
on
呢
right
邊。
now. Yeah, so you corrected that one. He's and then the one that's on the bottom, he's
嗱，
going
你向呢邊
to
睇啦。
pull it back forward.
係咪？咁係咪均勻啲？
So that kind of helped create more of a balance to the tree, because before it was really
嗱，呢支
bent
向翻呢
more
邊。
backwards. And then that little small branch that we were waiting for to get thicker
又呢支
was kind of drooping a little bit.
Yeah,
So he
found
kind
it.
of pulled it back up. And then going up, you know, towards the apex, that branch right there that he's going to be working on, he's going to pull it. Mung chin, my mung hao, mung hao.
Yeah.
He's going to pull it back a little
呢
bit.
個向翻呢邊，
Bin bin. It's just
向
how
我呢
bin.
邊。你一定要歪到均勻啊嘛！嗱，呢個等佢向翻前。
即係個頂啊嘛。
Yeah. 唯一啲樹唔係原裝一路咁種出嚟，就一定係要咁樣歪先快。嗱，呢支要向翻呢邊。呢度好小心咧，就唔驚斷。
So this one, he's a little worried that it might break. So you just have to be a little bit gentle and like how you're nudging it, supporting it where it needs support.
嗱，跟住向翻前係咪？
And so you pull that one more forward,
呢只係過掂啫，
and then that one you pulled it more off to the side.
得嚟。軍人到呢支啦，
Yeah, so then that's
呢
just
支又
gonna
要向翻呢邊
create more balance. 望返前邊。
，yeah。係咪？一睇落咪軍人咯，係咪？嗰個再啲你知啦，即係起翻啲，
And then
搞
so
掂啦。
the apex, you know, just kind of pull it up a little bit higher. Bị 蚊咬死啦。
但係買過嗰啲先啦，咪有啲嗰啲趕蚊嘅。
嗰條可以。
呀，咪搞掂啦。
There you have it.
搞掂啦。
前邊向我嗰
仲有
度。
呢度
哦，仲有一度。
都可以啦，得啦，都 OK 啦。嗱
Yeah, so 呢度前邊啊嘛。
，yeah，
So there you have it. So this would be the front. Okay, and then 你轉俾我睇。佢後邊好似有兩隻眼一個鼻咁啊，睇唔睇到啊？
咁有辦法。
I was just telling him the back looks like there's like a two eyes and a nose. So
呢啲細細地都好嘅，呢個擺展覽呢啲咁。
yeah，呢個要整幾耐啊？你
呢啲好快嘅，年零兩年。
This one we can probably in a year or two. I think this one will turn out really good. So we will continue to check on this one and see what kind of progress it makes, so we can kind of do a before and after too after some time. 呢個係唔可以換盤子，
唔好換啊！而家佢仲你唔好換佢，唔好理佢。
等第年先啊！第年啊，還是年尾？
出年啊！
因為你剪過，佢唔想佢慢。
唔想佢慢啊嘛。
So this one likely we probably won't be changing repotting until next year, maybe late next year, just because we cut it, and if we try to the wire dropped. So we try to repot it right now, it's going to slow down the growth of it. So he wants it to kind of grow out a little bit more before we go in and repot. 呢個係咪？
佢原來啲疏用嘅，要睇翻啲根啊嘛。
So he wants to just try to get that cleaned up a little bit too, so we can see the root.
根啊嘛，條骨。係咪？呢個種一樣係咁攝住。啊嗱，啲根啊嘛，佢啲根咧一定要有太陽佢先大得快。
嗯。
大陸叫sunwood啊嘛。嗯。即係啲根要有太陽要大。
So he wants to get rid of some of the dirt that's still kind of covering the roots, because we want to be able to kind of expose some of that roots to get some sunlight also. And then once we have sunlight on it, then the roots will kind of get bigger and get healthier too.
佢大得快啲先得根。
咁呢棵樹唔使放陰嘅地方，
即係唔上緊先，放埋一邊先得㗎啦。
放陰先啊？
Yeah， 即係為咗呢幾日好曬啊。
嗯，而家放喺後邊。
Yeah。
Okay, and then so that's it.
都
There
可
we
以
have
啊。
it. Yeah， 好睇呢個。
Yeah，
呢個都可以。
呢個都可以啊。揀呢棵都 OK 啊嘛。